Hello everyone. Topic of my presentation is structural, optical, and frequency-dependent dielectric properties of solid-state direct complex perovskite nano NBT system. So the complex perovskite system we are considering is sodium bismuth titaniate. So I have divided my presentation into some outlines. Those are introductions, experimental work done in the process, then results and discussion, and conclusion, and finally references. And in the introduction, so let's discuss something about sodium bismuth titaniate first. So what is sodium bismuth titaniate? It is a complex perovskite oxide system. And how a complex perovskite system is different from normal perovskite system, because in normal perovskite system we have two cation, A type and B type, and with oxygen it forms ABO3 structure, which are normal perovskite structure. In the complex perovskite structure, however, the A site is shared by two cation. Here sodium and bismuth is sharing the A site, and with B site cation titanium and oxygen, it is forming the complex perovskite structure sodium bismuth titanate. So sodium bismuth titanate are normally found in pseudocubic or rhombohedral phase in room temperature, and mostly in rhombohedral phase it is found. However, if we increase the temperature, it transforms itself into first the tetragonal structure, and if we further increase the temperature, it transforms itself into cubic phase. And this NBT is basically a relaxer ferroelectric, and various research have reported various band gap of sodium bismuth titanate, and it is mostly around 3 to 3.5 electron volt. So how we fabricated sodium bismuth titanate? So we have fabricated sodium bismuth titanate via solid state grinding and sintering process. In the process, we mix bismuth oxide, sodium carbonate, and TiO2 together. Then they were mixed with isopropyl alcohol and grinded for half an hour. After grinding for half an hour, we heated those sample at different temperature for 2 hours. And after heat treatment, we again grinded for half an hour as post annealing or post temperature treatment, and we got our sodium bismuth titanate nano powder. The chemical reaction which is involved in the synthesis process is also written here. Now then, after we got those NBT powder, we first went for XRD studies or crystallographic study to find out if NBT has formed or not, and if NBT has formed, then what is its phase. So it was found that NBT are in rhombohedral phase only, and for that sample which was heat treated up to 800 degrees Celsius, it is found no additional peak for different byproducts were not found. However, if we increase the annealing temperature, then it was found that the XRD peak for different impurity emerges. So those peaks basically corresponding to isostructural Bi4 Ti3O12, and this type of XRD peak or this type of impurity get produced due to sodium deficiency. Because we increase the heat treatment, then it was found that sodium evaporation takes place, and it evaporates as NaBiO2, and due to which sodium deficiency occurs in the sample, and due to that we along with sodium bismuth titanate we found some impurity also. So as we have seen that for that heat treated sample up to 800 degrees Celsius, they are basically sodium bismuth titanate only. After the increase in heat temperature, increasing the temperature, more impurity peaks arises. So we considered first sample, that is sample prepared at 700 degrees Celsius, 750 degrees Celsius, and 800 degrees Celsius for further analysis. So we first went for TEM and SEM. So SEM is not shown here. So the TEM image of the sample which is fabricated at 750 degrees Celsius is shown here, and it was found that the nanoparticles are basically of spherical shape, and its dimension varies from around 10 to 20 nanometer, and interplanar spacing was found to be around 0.39 nanometer, which correspond to 110 crystal plane of NBT. So when we studied the optical absorption and emission spectrum, then it was found that the absorption is arise at around 320 nanometer. However, the whole absorption response it ranges around 275 to 700 nanometer range. Then we calculated the band gap of those sample with the help of obviously well-known Tocque's relation or Tox plot, then it was found that the band gap of those sample heat treated at 700, 750, and 800 degrees Celsius were 3.27 electron volt, 3.25 electron volt, and 3.22 electron volt. That is, the band gap gets decreases with increasing heat treatment temperature. The emission profile for excionic wavelength of 300 nanometer is shown here. It was found that, and it was found that the emission peak that arises at around 420 nanometer only, and this type of blue luminescence of perovskite oxide or complex perovskite oxide basically arises due to self-trapped excitons, and that means within conduction band and valence band there are numbers of trapped states, and due to those trapped states we get blue emissions in the perovskite system. Here also we are getting those emissions due to that kind of self-trapped excitons only. So then we studied the dielectric response, and it was found that the capacitance of the sample get decreases which increase in applied frequency. And why it is arises due to at high frequency the charge carriers able to follow AC frequency and tend to mobile, suppressing thereby the capacitive response. And then we studied the dielectric response, and it was found that the dielectric response also decreases with increase in frequency. Why? Because at low frequency, all types of polarization, that means electronic, ionic, orientational, or space charge polarization can follow the applied field. However, if we increase the field, then those polarization could not follow the applied field, and due to which the dielectric response decreases with increasing applied frequency. Then we studied the conductivity response, and it was found that the whole conductivity nature can be divided into two parts. One is DC part, which is low frequency region, and in the high frequency region, this is we found it AC part. The AC conductivity right arises at high frequency, and it follows the Debye type behavior, shows the Debye type behavior, and sigma AC or conductivity of AC is proportional to omega to the power S, where S is a frequency exponent and it varies from 0 to 1. Then we studied the impedance response of those sample, the real part and both the imaginary part. And from real part, it was found that the frequency, the impedance decreases with increase in frequency. And from the imaginary part, we can determine the relaxation time of the sample, and we have determined the most probable relaxation time from the position of the emission peak of from the position of the peak of the imaginary part of the impedance. And it was observed that the value of relaxation time initially increases increasing the calculation temperature and attains a maximum value for 750 degrees Celsius. That is then decline thereafter. So maximum relaxation time was observed for the sample which was fabricated at 750 degrees Celsius only. Then we plotted the cool plot, which is plotted between, which can be plotted between imaginary part of impedance and real part of impedance. And this type of complex impedance spectroscopy technique is used to analyze the electrical response of the polycrystalline sample in wide range of frequencies. And in the present case, we have found only one incomplete semicircle, and along with a spike which depicts that the grain boundary impedance is dominating over the bulk type, and the maximum of Z prime or imaginary part of impedance value at lowest frequency response represents the grain boundary resistance to the capacitance, and the predicted values of grain boundary resistance for samples centered at 700, 750 and 800 degrees Celsius are 92.06, 38.06 and 40.25 kilo respectively. The minimum Z prime value at the highest frequency represents the grain resistance, and the value here is around 578 ohm. So these are the work we wanted to report here. So in the conclusion, we want to say that we have fabricated NBT nanostructure centering at different temperature, and for suitable fabrication, we considered 750. We suggested 750 degrees Celsius is the will be suitable for fabricating the NBT nanostructure system. And the NBT nanostructure system we have fabricated are pure phase, and most crystals align along one crystal plane. And from the morphological study of via TEM, we can say that NDT nanostructures are basically spherical in shape. The emission characteristics can be explained with the help of self-trap exciton. And of course, in the dielectric part, in all sample, decline in the value of capacitance, dielectric constant, and impedance and loss tangent was observed with increase in frequency. Increase in the conductivity of NBT system with increase in frequency was also another noticeable features of our work. And it was also observed that the value of relaxation time initially increases with increase in the calcination temperature or fabrication temperature, and attains a maximum value for the sample calcine at 750 degrees Celsius, and it declined thereafter. So these are the points with which we want to conclude. Thank you.